Hi, my name is Dee, and I am a bereaved parent, stillborn, and this is part of my journey through the grief process and rediscovering myself. I have my good days and my bad, like everyone else. And then there's days where I think I'm doing okay, and then all of a sudden something triggers and I lose control. Yesterday I woke up, and as with every morning, I had a hard time getting out of bed and getting dressed and really getting myself motivated to attempt to live life again. And just as I was getting ready to leave the house, I physically felt very weak and was unsure if I could even walk straight. It was my balance. I get dizzy and lightheaded. It's really frustrating because I never had those problems before, and I consider myself to be a fairly healthy individual, and now I can't do the things I used to do. I can't even like stand up quickly to go get myself a drink. My whole way of living has changed. So yeah, yesterday I was losing my balance and coordination, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to get out of the house. Thankfully, I was able to get out and do something. And then later in the afternoon, I was fine one moment, and then I start crying the next. And I can't stop thinking about her, my daughter. And of course, I've heard the cliches, she's always with me, and she'll always be in my heart. And I've heard them all. And I understand that they are given to me, with good intentions. But it doesn't always help. And then again today, I woke up, had a difficult morning, thought I was doing better, and tried to get some productive work done around the house. And then next thing you know, just a gush of tears come on, and I think just get so overwhelmed with emotion because I can't hold her. And she'd be about 3 months, learning to hold her head up, giving us genuine smiles, learning our voices and recognition. But we don't have that, and we never will. And some days there's triggers, and other days there's not. And today was just one of those days that I thought I was doing okay, and then I break down and I can't stop crying. And I went into her room and tried to reminisce a little bit of the memories I did have while I was carrying her and while I was in labor in her room in this house. And I miss her. And it sucks that she had to go. No matter how many times I say this and acknowledge it and share my story, every time it crosses my mind, it still feels so fresh and just unbelievable and devastating. And I sense that it's going to be like that for quite some time, where I have to learn to live this life that I'm left with, but do so without my daughter, without no control over what happens, and no solution to fixing it or bringing her back. And to some people, it may seem that, as time goes by, it'll get easier, or you learn to live a new normal life, or, whatever bullshit you want to try and fabricate out of this, it still sucks. And as the mother, I don't think living with the pain can get any easier. I think, time heals everything, and, it gets easier with time. I think those sayings don't give the full truth. I think what they really mean by it is, over time, you'll learn to mask it easier. This is essentially what we have to do. As bereaved parents, we have to learn to mask our pain. Because it doesn't get easier. It gets harder. It gets a lot harder. Because the more time goes by, the farther away you get from those moments. Those moments that you did have with them that are now gone. I don't feel it getting easier to deal with. I feel myself sinking, and sometimes I try to numb the pain and try to ignore it and push it aside, and that only works for so long, and then it eventually, comes to surface, whether it be, sooner or later. And once it does come to surface, then there's also those feelings of guilt because you tried to ignore it and push it aside. It's like, if she was here, I wouldn't ignore her. I wouldn't push her aside. So why does society expect me to do that now? I still love her. I, I love her and I miss her every day, and I'm just trying to figure out how I'm supposed to live my life without her here and find happiness and purpose and meaning. And I certainly don't have that answer today.